You're pretty solid out there.
Yeah, you gotta fucking flick it, and you gotta fucking get her done.
Send it!
Send it.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look good out there. All that running yesterday, you were doing really well. So that was perfect.
Yeah, I think I've got all the practices. You know,
Yeah.
now it's all about making it happen when it counts.
And you were here for the briefing, so you know the little pointers.
Yeah, they want us to flick it pretty hard here. Full angle up top the hill. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well done.
Top speed.
Go for it.
See you later.
See you later, Stephen. So I believe this is Group D on the entry list, Group D, and as you may have seen, it includes Hayden Cruikshank from the UK. It's a nice R34 four-door there, which may be Jaden Searle. Here's Hayden. It's one of the Irish lads in the red JZX 90. That'll be Greg. Woo-wee! Actually, the red JZX90, I think it might be one of the Finnish guys, to be honest. Met him down on Minami. Hayden has had a spin. He's found the limit. Right, I think that might be the end of Group D. So should be moving on to Group C. It looks like that's the end of Group D, so we'll be moving on to Group C on the list. Including Jordan from the drift team Funabashi. That was Nathan Warren from Tasmania. Go on, Jordan, go on, have it. in. Rokas Peterson. Nathan Warren from Tasmania. Jordan Harvey from the UK, Drift Team Funabashi. That's the end of Group C, so we should be moving into Group B very soon. Well, they're not out yet, so maybe there's a slight break or a delay. Thank you for checking out the live stream. Please give it a like and a share, and it should be online. Saved on YouTube to watch back later. So they're releasing Group B. Got James Flynn, 13-year-old Australian. Nick Levis, Jimmy Oakes from America, Anthony Billick from Australia. Aidan. Thanks for watching. Jarvis, you do. We need to come first. You can rent a 350Z for the day when you come. Oh, that was a small crashu. Looks like that's the end of group, is that C or B? It must be end of group B. This is James Flynn. He's 13-year-old. He's been competing at Ebisu since he was 10, and he's in a turbo GT86. His dad is Kevin Flynn. He's an advanced driving instructor. Anthony Billick, Nick Levis. That is a cool car, and that is another cool car. Woo-wee! I think that was Jimmy, the mechanic from Power Vehicles. So to get you up to speed, we're at Nishi course. The long course is where the cars are lined up in the, like using it as a pit area. That's Nishi Long. It's the course they used for Formula Drift Japan. Then this course over here is called Nishi Short. So we've got Nishi short course. You come over the hill down here, then you cut through this centre section here to the right and then round to the left. But we're using Nishi Short Long, which comes over the hill down and sweeps a long curve all the way around here, swoops down to this section of the track, tight round. The finish line is over there. The judges, they include Kumakubo, who owns Ebisu, are going to be in this gazebo here, and Alexei Noriaro, who you can hear there, he's going to be commentating on the event, probably from the same spot. He is talking now on the tannoy, if you ever listen. Oh, shut up.
Followed by Group C, then C, B, and A. Thank you.
So yeah, we should have I think Group A coming out soon. So I put on my Facebook the list, the drivers list, so you can see who the drivers are, and the drivers are from all over the world. So because it's the Gaijin G1 #1 Grand Prix competition, there's not really any Japanese drivers. There might be now live in Japan competing, but there's not really any Japanese drivers coming together. Really cool competition. The track's been designed by Kumakubo, and he's judging it with another Japanese guy. Let's go. I can't remember his name. Whether it was Kanta possibly. And Noriaro is going to be commentating. So how cool is that when you can come to Japan, you can compete in your own car, and you can have Kumakubo from Team Orange, who is a ex D1 Grand Prix driver and team owner, and I think he still does some drifting, and he does a lot of instructing. He does rally driving here. He's got some GT86 rally cars that they set up. They've dug up most of the tarmac on Minami and turned that into a rally stage, because to be honest, it wasn't heavily used when it was a drift track, and it may be a drift track in the future, and you can actually drift on it this weekend. They've been sweeping a lot of the gravel off it with machines all week, and there'll be people out there drifting on Minami. So for all those people who say, I was going to come to Ebisu and I was going to skid Minami, you still can. So you can't use that as an excuse that you haven't been yet. And I've been over here for a few days now, and in fact I've been over here for a week now, and we've been joined, me and Jordan have been joined by Pete Hayden from the UK and Callum Randall, who both started drifting at Norfolk Arena, and Pete went on to compete in the BDC, and yesterday he rented a 350Z from Sidex, which is a company that are based here at Ebisu, and he spent the day drifting on Nishi Short. Actually, he practiced on this track, Nishi Short Long, and then he went up to North Course and he used up 10 tyres, 5 pairs of tyres, drifting the Sidex 350Z, and had the most amazing time. Basically, he doesn't want to go home. He wants to stay here and he just wants to drift. And he wants to drift every day, even though he only rented a car for a day. But he's having an amazing time. His friend Callum, or Randall as he's known, he's only ever drifted at Norfolk Arena. He's got a Santa Pod Driftwood Brung Day coming up after we get back from Japan. But he's done his second ever drifting venue is Ebisu, because he's rented the 350Z for today, and he'll be going around to a couple of courses and doing some skids, starting out on Kurukuru Land, where you can learn donuts and figure eights, moving on to school course when you're working on your transitions. He's been drifting a long time in the UK, so he knows what he's doing. I don't think he'll have any problems. And then you can get on to North Course, you can go on to Higashi, you can usually come down to Nishi here, but it's being used for the G1 Grand Prix today, and get lots of seat time and lots of different tracks, different elevation changes, different speeds, first, second, third gear, fourth gear on Higashi. Do some mad entries if you're confident enough. But this course is being used for G1 Grand Prix. We're going to have the qualifying start after a short break when we've finished the practice for Group A. There'll be a short break and we're going to qualifying, and each driver will get the opportunity to do 2 runs. As far as I can remember, I think you do 1 run and then everyone goes round and then you do a second run. I don't think it's back to back from memory, because that would slow things down and need to get the event done. And then we've got 80 drivers competing today. Once all 80 drivers have attempted their 2 qualifying runs, the judges will come up with the top 32, and the top 32 battles will commence, and they'll go like a normal drifting competition down into your finalists, and then we'll have the final battle and the competition will be over. Then we'll have a trophy presentation ceremony, and then we have some games where we do some rock, paper, scissors games with Noriara, which is a load of fun. They give out a load of prizes. The drivers, probably about the top 5 drivers, all get prizes for the drifting competition, but for the rock, paper, scissors, they give out little prizes, and sometimes it's a pair of tyres, and that's a lot of fun. And then we're going to have a barbecue to sort of finish the evening off, and often we then head into town, into a pub or a bar, and just carry on the celebrations and have a load of fun. And then we'll come back here for the actual Matsuri weekend, starting tomorrow morning, probably 9 o'clock, and they'll have all the tracks open for the day. They'll have a couple of different layouts on this track. They'll have Nishi Long course going for a period where the guys are coming down the straight here in 4th gear, flinging it at this bank here, swooping round, swoop round this corner. It's the Formula Drift Japan layout, and then come down here and then stuff it around this last bend. And when I was here a couple of years ago, Daigo Saito was here, and I wouldn't be lying if I said he was initiating at the Yokohama Bridge thing over here. He was from the back of his car over here, his practice car, in 4th gear at well over 100 miles an hour, and drifting down the wall, switching round and coming round and swooping round, downshifting to whatever gear, maybe 3rd gear, and coming around the corner. Shinji Minoa was also doing it. My friend Steve Dolan from the UK, who drifts a E30 BMW V8 at practice days in the UK, mostly driftwood brung at Santa Pod. He actually managed to blag a ride with Shinji Minoa and was in the passenger seat when Shinji did this run. I was lined up for a passenger ride straight after, but unfortunately someone ended up on this bank here crashing. I can't remember if they rolled over, but they ended up from running down and up this bank. Past the Armco, you actually can ride up the bank, and it was from the UK, to be honest. I was sat in Shinji's car in the pits waiting to have my ride of the century, and someone from the UK put their car up on the bank, and then it was about 5 minutes before the session. Because they needed to recover him, they just ended the session, and it was on the Sunday, so I couldn't get my ride. So Shinji said to me, don't worry, I'll give you a ride down on Minami. So I went down to Minami a short while later. He gave me a ride on Minami that I'll never forget. Over the top, 4 wheels off, down the wall against his friend, tapping his friend's door on the way down, and it was absolutely incredible. So when you're here, if you say hello to people, even if you're not driving, you've come over for a holiday, just to check out Tokyo for a few days, come up to Ebisu for Matsuri, maybe come a couple of days before Matsuri in the build-up, and you can grab some rides with people. If you've got a crash helmet with you, just walk around the pits, ask someone if they're okay to give you a ride, jump in, and you won't forget it. It costs something like about £5 extra on top of your entrance to get in to have rides. It's ridiculous. So it's so cheap. So if you are here, bring a helmet or purchase a helmet there's some second-hand shops. You can get a helmet from Up Garage, turn up with a helmet so you're prepped and ready to jump in someone's passenger seat should the opportunity arise. As far as the tracks here at Ebisu, we've got several tracks. I think about 7 tracks. Well, let me go through it. You've got Kurukuru Land, where you do donuts, figure eights. Then you can move on to School Course. That's number 2. Then you've got the... Hello! Right, I'm going to stop talking. Hello! Wow! Mr. Kobayashi. Fantastic. Good to see you. How are you? You're a professional. Professional. Yeah, this is Mr. Kobayashi. I can't pronounce his first name. What's your first name?
First name, Tomoaki.
Tomoyaki. Right, here we go. I'm going to try and remember it and how to say it. Tomoaki. And he's a serial spectator at Ebisu at the Drift Matsuri. You're a big fan of drifting. You don't drift yourself. You don't drift. You don't actually drive. He doesn't drive, right? He doesn't drive, but he's got RC drift cars, does RC drifting, and with those, he's got a replica Adam LZ JZX Chaser drift car, and he's got a replica Alexi Noriaro beer can R32 RC drift car, and it's great to see you. It's great to see you. So it looks like Team A are coming out. Not Team A, Group A. Fausto Yukio from Fausto Drift School. Former Drift Japan driver. Stephen Gallant from Canada. This is one of the Irish lads. Looks proper. Kumakubo has come up early to watch some of the practice. So if you can skid and you've got a car over here and you're not from Japan, you can enter G1 and you could be drifting against Fausto Yukio, Formula Drift Japan driver, maybe Jimmy Oakes, maybe Adam LZ if he's here. Grant Anderson, you could be drifting against him. If Luke Fink's here, you could be drifting against him. All the good drivers come out here and test themselves against other drivers in this competition. So it's and the standard is ridiculously high. Obviously with 80 drivers, it's going to be a challenge to get in the top 32 and get in the battles. But all the drivers will be doing their best to achieve it. Judging criteria is quite strict, so you might be linking the track, making loads of smoke, but if you're not on the clipping points and you're not doing the flick like they want, then you're not going to score that high. What they want is you've got to be on full lock over the... You've got to be on as much lock as you can get as you come over the top, already on lock, fast down the hill. And then when you do the transition, it's got to be a snappy transition, not one of these big, lazy, slow transitions. It's got to be a snappy transition. And then when you're on power, you've got to be not making too many adjustments. You've got to be on lock and on power through here without making too many adjustments. Hit the outer clipping point here. Actually, there's an outer clipping point there. You've got to hit this outer clipping point here. And then there's an elevation change. The car kind of goes down a short slope there, and you've got an inner clipping point which is there, and then you move to the finish line and you end up going on the outside of the track at the finish line. The finish line is just behind that block there. So that's the layout. That's what the drivers are going to be trying to do for the qualifying. For now, we're just in the last session of practice, so these guys can get practice in this morning. Everyone had practice yesterday. The opportunity for practice, whether they took it, is up to them. But the track was open in this layout for the whole day for practice, so people were out there pounding the track, and even people that weren't competing in G1 had the opportunity to come out and play on this layout. It's the only time this layout is used at Ebisu. As far as I'm aware, the 3 Fridays before the Drift Matsuri, the Spring Matsuri, Summer Matsuri and Autumn Matsuri. And they have this competition here. So they have it open for the Thursday for practice, and everyone can have a go of it, and then they use it for the competition on Friday. And I don't see it being used normally. There's a bit of jeopardy involved, to be honest, especially when you do this section over here, when you go from this bit of tarmac here and you go down to that bit of tarmac there. You can unsettle the car and you can't really see it, but there's a big bank here. And when I was doing G1GP practice in 2017, I actually hit the bank there and put my car on its side like that, and the spectators, that was my SIL 80, spectators had to climb over the fence and push me back down onto 4 wheels, and then the forklift truck from down here had to come and pick my car up and take me and drop me off in the pits. And I spent a day and a half with Sam Stocks from the UK fixing my car. I sourced parts from people who were here, who had spare parts for sale, including Mikko from Finland. I bought an intercooler off him, fitted that to the car. I got some intercooler pipes off him possibly as well. And then I got the car back together and got back out on track. And to be honest, I hardly damaged, apart from the intercooler and the sort of bash bar at the front, I hardly damaged the car, and put a few scratches on the door, bent the wing mirror back, and it actually survived being on its side quite well. But we're just waiting a little while for these guys to get out on track. They're all lined up here. Just up there, they're lined up. ready to go. Got a little bit of a delay. So this is the final group who are doing practice on this layout. And then, as I said, we're going to have a break for them to get their cars ready for qualifying, and then we're going to get qualifying underway. Not sure why there's a delay, but I could waffle on a bit more. I'll talk about myself, my favourite subject. So I have been coming to Japan since 2014. I first came with Hayden Cruikshank, who's a Drift Pro driver and did BDC. Came with him.
But can I please have the attention of all the drivers? All drivers, please listen to this announcement. So on the map that I've got this morning, the map of the course, there's 4 zones written on the track. 4 zones. One on the hill, an in-clip, an out-clip, and an in-clip. We're currently on the course outside of the speaker. On the track course. Further up where the judging stand is. Okay? That you can ignore that zone. You can ignore that zone. So there's no zone. Look up. You can look up at the judging stand where I'm standing up here. Hello. If you look up here, right there. Right in front of us is a zone on the outside of the track, right there. You can ignore that zone. It was not mentioned in the driver's briefing, so you can ignore that. Do you understand? Okay. So once again, to all drivers, they're explaining that to the people on the course right now, but I'm explaining to everybody else. There's zone 1 on the hill, zone 2 in-clip, zone 3 on the outside of the bank, and then in-clip. 4 zones only. There is a zone written on the track on the outside of the sweeper. You can ignore that. Understood? All good? Can I get a thumbs up from any drivers? You guys see what I'm saying? Yep. Okay. So just letting you know that. So the course is as written on the map. You can ignore that outer zone. That's all. If you have any questions, let us know. But that's the course is as it is on the map.
So there's a little box over here. This box here wasn't supposed to be on the track. I'm not sure whether they didn't just get a bottle of water and wipe it out so it's not there, but they told everyone to ignore it instead. So I believe we're still waiting to get on with the Group A practice session, and then there's going to be a break, and I'll probably end the live video when we've done practice session for Group A. Just telling you a little bit more before the track action starts. So I first came to Ebisu in 2014 with Hayden Cruikshank. He had 2 cars. Him and his partner Terry had a car each, white S14, and I came out with Neil Facer, my friend from the UK, and we spent about 2 or 3 days with Hayden and Terry at Ebisu, and we had a quick go of their cars on Minami, on School, and on North Course, and we had lots of ride-alongs with them, and we just checked everything out, and we were in awe, and it was incredible. And then the following year, Hayden was coming back. It wasn't during the Matsuri weekend or Matsuri week. Hayden was coming back, and he brought along with him Carl Farrer, his partner Penny, Ollie Evans, his dad Steve, as well. And I came along, joined the group, and we had an amazing time. I bought a red R32 4-door GTST and drifted it with Carl and Ollie and Hayden all week. Worked on North Course, went over the hill, down the wall. in the wet, in the dry, worked on school course, linking the track, worked on Minami, went over the hill, down the wall, ran the wall, hit the wall, just had the full experience. My car didn't really go around Tollgate. It had a bit of a boost leak, had a few problems, and I had to keep putting extra air in the tyres. But didn't really want to go around Tollgate. I had a drive around it, got a couple of sideways moments on the corners, but that was super scary. So I was happy not to do much at Tollgate. But the guys did, and they were pretty epic round there, having loads of fun twinning. They've got a lot more experience than me at the time. So then I managed to crash my R32 four-door on Minami on the last day with half an hour of track time left. I think I went over the top a little bit too slow, and the car gripped up, hit the wall with the front, smashed the headlight, the intercooler, the radiator, the battery exploded, the bonnet hit the windscreen. It was a proper crash. And I I ran down the wall, come to a grinding halt at the bottom, then pulled straight off on the pit entrance, pulled out of there, cleaned the car up, managed to get it down to power vehicles. And it was a missile when I bought it, but it was even more of a missile when I'd finished with it. It was an ex-Dory Minardi car. One of Gobbler's friends had it for a few times, and it had some serious damage at the back. But the front wasn't as bad as it was after I finished with it. When I got it, that was. And so I sold that back to Andy for 300 quid. I bought it for 1,300 quid. It was when you could buy a missile car back in the day. And so it cost me £1,000 for like 8 days, 10 days. I'm not sure how long we were here for, to use it. And it was an absolute bargain. And then the following year, I came out with Paula, and we came out with Hayden and Terry, and we bought a Sil 80, a black one. And there's a few videos on my Underdog Drift Squad and photos of it from back in the day. And I had a lot of fun with that car. First year was with Hayden and Terry, and Paula. And Paula managed to drift it on Minami. She didn't go over the top, of course, but she was drifting it from the bottom on the hairpin and then sending it up the hill between the concrete blocks. She drifted it on school course, working on the roundabout at the end, when it was proper school course, when they hadn't flattened it and painted the track, when there was actually grass bits so you could drive up and over, and it was a lot more sketchy than it is now. And Paula drifted on Kurukuru Land, obviously, doing donuts, figure eights. And she even had a little tickle on North she drifted the top, the first corner on North. And and then I had it for another couple of years, and then I sold it. So I'm going to get into the practice session for Group A. There's groups A to E, and there's 80 drivers competing today. And this is just the last session of practice before we get into qualifying. So this is just their first runs. They're getting warmed up, getting into the groove. Just to let you know what they're aiming to achieve. They're trying to come over the top of this hill on lock, lots of angle, come through in a clipping point by the cone, the tyre stack that's there at the moment. Then they're trying to do a snappy transition, trying to remain on lock, full power all the way around this corner here. And then when there's an outer clipping point here, you can just see, where's my finger? There. Outer clipping point here. This, you can't really see it, but there's a massive dip where the track goes down, and you end up on the bottom section here. And they've got to be on lock there and swoop down to inner clip, and the finish line is over there. judges include Kumakubo, who is sitting there watching there, and I think it was Kanta as well. Here comes the cars. So this is just practice, ready for qualifying, which will be starting fairly soon, but there's going to be a short break. So I'm going to finish this live video and then start a new live video for qualifying. And there's 80 drivers. They're all going to get an opportunity to do 2 runs. So these guys are going to be cracking through the qualifying. Kumakubo and Kanta are going to be working out the, I believe it's Kanta. I'm apologies if that's wrong. They're going to be working out the qualifying order, and we're going to end up with a top 32 list. Then we're going to go, and then we're going to have another break, and then we're going to go into battles, top 32, all the way down to the podium. Well, top 32, top 16, top 8, final 4, and then a final battle, and then we're going to have a trophy presentation. They normally give out about 5 trophies. I think it's not just 1, 2, 3 or 1 and 2. Give out about 5 trophies, and everyone will find out where they came in the competition. And then they get lots of prizes, like a seat, a bride seat sometimes for the winner, and tyres and all sorts of stuff from the sponsors of this event. And then we have a rock, paper, scissors competition with Alexei from Noriaro. And then we've got a barbecue, and we're all chatting, there's drinks included. And then often we'll head into town, into a bar, and carry on the party. And then tomorrow we've got Matsuri starting off Saturday morning. There's going to be all the tracks open: Kurukuru Land, School Course, North Course, Higashi, Nishi. They'll have the Nishi short layout for a while, and the Nishi long layout for a while. Toge is going to be open. People are going to be spinning around on there, getting loads of seat time. Here comes Yukio Fausto from the Fausto Drift School. He is a Formula Drift Japan driver. You might have seen his Mini GT sponsored Liberty Walk body kitted 2JZ S15. You can buy a Mini GT model of that kit. That is the guy there. He's Yukio Fausto from Brazil, lives in Japan, and he's got his own drift school that started this year called the Fausto Drift School. You can come here and you can drive his cars. They can teach you how to drift. Even if you can't drift at all, you can come to Japan, learn how to drift. Then you can then rent a car, do some more skids. Then you can buy a car if you fancy. So that was Stephen Gallant. Right, so we actually are into qualifying. We're into qualifying, so I got my wires crossed there. Must have done Group A. Oh, that was a crashu.
Got a bit of a course out there for PS on the entry.
So they're going to have to recover him because they think he looks like he might be stuck. Here comes the pickup truck. Probably drag him out fairly quickly and we'll get on. Let's have a quick look at the judges here.
covering Pierce's car to the side of the track right now. Later on today, you can go and buy a ticket for that. Tower.
Someone just say Fausto is the best. Fausto is amazing. We'll see if he's the best in this competition during the course of the competition, but he is an amazing guy. When I started drifting at Ebisu,
So the championship will be decided here today for the 2025 season. Of course, the winner.
Fausto was a mechanic at Power Vehicles when I started drifting here. So was James Cruz, and both of them have gone on to do different things at Ebisu. Fausto's running, he went with Sidex Drift School for a couple of years, and now he started his own drift school called Fausto Drift School. And James Cruz was at Power Vehicles for a very long time, and he looked after my cars, and now he's started his own shop at Ebisu.
It looks like Pierce is returning to the pits.
So hopefully we don't get too many stoppages.
Driver heading out now is car 73, Rory Waite.
Rory Waite is coming out with his qualifying run. Here he comes. I think Rory Waite's one of the Tasmanian guys in Nick's crew. Very good driver.
Next driver coming out, car 72, Momo.
So Momo is from Switzerland. She's been coming out here for quite a few years. That's pretty solid. A few clutch kicks there to get that thing going.
Next car 71, Jack Shield.
I think Jack's done about 5 laps in this car since he bought it just the other day. This is probably lap number 6. Jack is a former winner of G1GP. Thinking around 2018, something like that, he won.
Next driver, car 70, Kenny Hino.
He's a fantastic driver, Jack is. Well, that car looks awesome, but it sounds stock. Someone says Fausto is my dad. Is that true?
Next driver, car 67, Pavel.
That guy's pretty solid on that run. He likes the limiter, I remember from yesterday. Blooming sends it.
And last driver in this group, car 65, Daniel Simmons. And it sounds like a tag is going over the finish line.
Oh dear.
Looks like we may have a slight oil down, unfortunately, right now.
It sounded like a diff or a prop or something exploded.
Daniel out there, the gearbox suit, it looks like, unfortunately, and we do have a slight oil down the track, which we might have to take care of before we can send the driver again.
Right, maybe gearbox then. Right, apologies for that. So I'll give you a bit more spiel if you're interested, which hopefully you are, because you're watching this live stream, interested in Ebisu and Matsuri and everything. So the Matsuri itself takes place over 2 days.
Right now, take care of that oil down on the track. Also looks like Diego has headed out in a loader car right now.
So the Matsuri proper is 2 days. Starts on Saturday morning, probably 9 o'clock, and yeah, there's a big line of oil. I can see it now, shiny. And they open up all the tracks. We get locals here from all over Japan. Believe it or not, you can come to a Matsuri with your grip car and they will let you out on track. It's mostly Higashi, but you still get grip cars going out on Minami. Probably have some rally cars turn up for that as well. I know for a fact there's a guy here from Poland or somewhere. Hang on, no. There's some guys here, no, I think they're from Norway, if I get that right. From Norway, and they've got a bloody Porsche, looks like a blooming GT3 car, and they're going to be running that on Higashi all day over the weekend. Well, it might even be today. They're going to be running it on Higashi, which is the sort of grip track that's generally only used for track day type stuff and motorcycles and cars. But they're opening it up for drifting. But again, like I say, you can actually go and take your grip car out on a track that's being used by drift cars as well, and you can just spam round in that. You can even come here with a front-wheel drive car. A couple of years ago, Jim Meek from Australia, one of my good friends who comes out to Ebisu, we were down on Higashi, and there's this little lad, Japanese guy, in this absolutely stripped bare front-wheel drive K car. And he was giving it death round the whole track. We thought it'd be funny to ask if Jim could have a ride with him, and the guy's like, yeah, no problem, you know. So Jim straps himself in this car. It's like Jim is quite a big guy, tall and broad. He got in this car, and this little Japanese guy gave it absolute death round the whole of the track, including running the wall, running the Armco barrier as he came down the straight on Higashi, and it was very entertaining to watch, and it was a riot inside, apparently, Jim said, and it's a very memorable moment. So looks like they finished their clean-up. The clean-up involves throwing some chalk down over the oil and then just let them send it. So it just soaks up the oil, and there's nothing more sophisticated. Sometimes they'll do a bit of sweeping, but it looks like they've actually just thrown the chalk down. So the drift Matsuri,
Dry on the track. Sitting the driver down for their second qualifying run very shortly. His borrowed car, so he'll be able to do his second qualifying run.
so it looks like they're sending the groups out.
So all the remaining drivers in Group D, if you have not brought your car to the pit area on the front straight, please make sure that you are ready to go.
So they're sending the groups out over the back of the course to line up, and they're going to do the first run in turn, and then they're all going to go and do their second run, qualifying run in turn. So it stops the cars having to come backwards and forwards so much. And then they'll send another group, and they'll do their first and line up, and then again do their second, and then we'll get everyone through that way. So the Drift Matsuri is a real riot. It's an amazing event. People coming from all over the world. All the tracks are going to be open. There's various timetables for different tracks. On North Course, for instance, you can run till in like midnight or something, or even maybe later. I'm not 100% sure of the time. You used to be able to run the whole night through, but I don't know whether you can anymore. And even Higashi, you can run till late in the evening. And then School Course again, you can run into the dark and to the late. I'm not 100% if any of the courses stay open over the whole night, but they may well do. I'd have to check, to be honest. But what happens with me, I get to the point where about midnight, I'm too cold. No matter whether I'm spectating or driving, I'm like, I've had enough now. I need to get in the warm and go back to the hotel. And I just come back in the morning on Sunday morning. And then you just do the whole thing again. And then the track closes about 4 o'clock on Sunday. All the tracks close. And one of the highlights is the last hour or so on Nishi Short here. Not this layout, the one where you come over the hill, round the corner and cut through the centre there. That's Nishi Short, and then you go down and round. It's an absolute riot, and the drift trains around here on Sunday afternoon are insane. Back in 2017, might have been 2018, I think it might have been 2018, I was in a drift train of 12 cars around here. Sebastian Lemoyne from Canada got an amazing video on his helmet cam that he's got on his YouTube channel. And in the video, he is chasing Frederick Asbo. Frederick Asbo is chasing me. Then in front of me, there's a Genesis massive New Zealand JZX 100. I'm not even sure who's driving. And then in front of him, there's like Gobbler, and then there's David Mesker, and then there's Adam LZ right at the front. And I'm going around in a drift train with like a who's who of Ebisu and worldwide drifting. And I'm stuck in the middle. I'm pushing myself so far out of my comfort zone. I'm nearly having a heart attack the whole way round. There's so much smoke. And it's all captured on Sebastian's video. I didn't have a GoPro in my car or anything. It's all captured on Sebastian's video. And I'll have to share it. Share the video on my Facebook from YouTube so you can have a look. That was a pretty good run, especially as you had to go through all that oil clear up stuff.
Right, so Diego is out in foreign car, so we're to start the second qualifying run for
So second qualifying run for this car.
Actually, correction, I think they're sending out Diego right now.
Right, Diego.
Qualifying run.
Considering that guy's in a borrowed car, that was blooming amazing.
Diego, he gets first qualifying
anyone's got any comments or questions, tap them in the comments section and I'll see if I can spot it on my screen and reply. Sounds a bit bruppy, whatever it is. So that junior guy, he was on North yesterday with Samet doing some testing. That looks like a serious car. That's basically cheating as far as I'm concerned. Even Fausto's not in the top car like that. I'm only joking, it's not cheating. You can turn up with what you want. It's just a little bit more embarrassing if you get beaten by someone in a stock powered car in your comp car, but...
Next driver out, car number 78, Marco Kelly.
Marco.
Next driver, car 77, Matt Carter.
Matt Carter from the UK, Team Jap Speed. Has anyone ever heard of him? Come on, give us a comment. That's not his finest moment. I'm trying to think how many laps Matt's done in this car. He's only just finished putting the thing together. He's probably done one shakedown run on Toge, and that's his first lap of this course. Or he probably did get out in practice earlier. So hopefully he can get it together for his second qualifying run.
Behind the judging stand and up to the staging area. Thank you. Group C drivers. Alright, next driver, car 70.
Fausto Yukio. Ooh-wee! Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. That was good. Fausto's got a little bit of experience here. It's not like he's in his comp car though. He's in one of the school cars. Can hear someone coming. That was a pretty good run. Next driver. Rory Waite.
Alright, that was car 73, Rory Waite, doing his
Yep.
second run.
Nice one, Rory. Thanks for checking out the live stream. Please give it a share. should remain on YouTube if I manage to save it correctly, so people can watch it back in the future. It's that Momo from Switzerland. She's qualifying run number 2. That was pretty good. She went a little bit wider. She actually hit that clipping box, the one they don't need to, but it actually gave her a bit more angle, and she didn't need so many clutch kicks to get around, so maybe that was a good run. We'll see.
Next driver, car 71, Jack Shield.
Come on, Jack. Send it. Lovely. A little bit wide of that clipping point there, the final clipping point, but other than that, they look pretty solid. Good pace. Crowd went wild. Look how beautiful it is here. Is this that 350Z?
Next driver, car number 70, Kenny Eno.
How did I guess? Any 350Z fans out there? Oh, we've got someone else come in. Sounds a bit fast.
Next driver, car number 77, Alex Benderchick.
Bit peaky. Damn! It's got some poke. No smoke, no poke. That made some smoke. Diego in the borrowed car, red one, is it? Like a boss in a borrowed car, for crying out loud. That was epic. I'm not sure whether he'll score well, but it looked good. See these young photographers, they go trackside and just spend the whole time looking at their phone, don't even take any photos. He's doing a selfie. No, he's doing a photo or a pan. Woo! Go, Steven! Woo! Woo! So in this group, we've got Hayden Cruikshank from the UK in the Colour Sound Experiment JZX Chaser, and it might look like his comp car from UK, but it's a separate car. He just had the livery applied from the ginger bearded drifter Chris Meek, who's a former rap and vinyl dude, and he sorted the application of Hayden's vinyl to the car. It looks absolutely amazing, pretty much identical. It's the exact copy of the wrap he's got in his car in the UK, and it looks incredible, so makes it stand out. A bit like what we tried to do with Jordan's JZX 100 Mark II with the Drift Team Funabashi vinyl. See how beautiful it is here. We're in Fukushima Prefecture, up in the mountains. There's snow on one of the mountains somewhere. Don't know if you can see it from here, but it's very cool. Fukushima is where the nuclear power plant, we had a tsunami here and earthquake. You get a lot of earthquakes. Actually, I had an earthquake here when I was here. I'm not sure if that's helping to sell the idea of you coming to Japan, but in 2016 when I was here with Paula, it was 6 in the morning from memory, and there was an earthquake which was 7.8 on the Richter scale, and our hotel shook, and it woke us both up, and I was wrapping myself, and we put the duvet over our head for protection. That's about all we did. Wait for it to stop. And we were in a hotel in Dakonsen, and when we went down for breakfast, no one said a word. They just said, "Welcome to breakfast, konnichiwa," gave us a tray for our breakfast, and just carried on like nothing had happened. It wasn't really till we went on the internet and it was all over the news worldwide, this massive earthquake. It wasn't the one that caused the Fukushima power plant to have a meltdown. But it was a bit worrying at the time, but there was no risk of us being hit by a tsunami because Ebisu is so far away from the coast in the Fukushima prefecture, it wouldn't have been affected if it had, if there had been a tsunami, which there wasn't on that occasion. But the previous one, there was the big tsunami, and it affected the Fukushima power plant. Fun fact, there's a lot of wildlife around here, as you might imagine when you've got mountains and trees and stuff. And there's bears in this area. And recently there's been a lot of bear attacks in Japan. Not necessarily in this area, but there's been people killed by bears in Japan. You can look it up, and it's quite worrying. They do get bears in this area, but we haven't seen any. Oh, that's the wide line. The other day I was driving up from Minami and I saw this thing. It looked like a possum or a badger type thing. I don't even know what it's called. I haven't googled it yet, but it's got like a furry tail on it and it's about the size of a small skinny badger, and nearly run it over, as you do when you're just driving back in the dark. Poor little thing must have been scared. But previously I've seen a wild boar on the road. Woo-wee! for some reason, we went driving in the mountains at night on our last trip. I'm not sure why we did that, but we did it for some reason. And on our way up to this mountain spot, we were driving along. I was driving the rental car, and a massive hench wild boar trotted out of the woods and across the track. Didn't even turn around to look at us, just walked across the road like it owned the place. I would say it was the size of a big dog, like a Rottweiler size thing. It was hench as, and it just trotted out in front of us. And then you get monkeys in the woods, so you have to be a little bit careful with what food you've got and where you've put it and stuff like that when you're out here. Sebastian Lemoyne, who I was talking about earlier, who got the helmet cam footage of me. He's a good driver. Damn! That boy can drift. That was epic. I think we've got a qualifier just right there. So if you weren't watching the live stream earlier, I was talking about, I think it was about 2018, and I was in a massive 12-car drift train. Sebastian Lemoyne, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's a French-Canadian drifter, and he got some epic footage of, he was chasing Frederick Asbo. Frederick Asbo was chasing me, and then Gobbler, Aaron Losey from Lodestar Drift was in the train, and so was David Mesker, and Adam Elzey was at the front. It's the one where Adam Elzey got punted off the track and was in the weeds at the end of the session for the last 2 laps. And we just carried on round past him, and then the session ended and we all came off and they dragged him out of the weeds. Pretty epic, and I was just so proud to be part of it. Pushed me way out of my comfort zone, but it was so cool.
Drivers doing their second qualifying run now, starting with car 64, Jaden Searle.
So that R34 four-door, Jaden picked it up in stockish form, and he's been down on Minami in the pit area, putting a cage in it, putting seats in it, putting all the safety bits in he needs, fixed back seats, and getting it ready for this week basically. So it's good to see him out there in it, and it's a very cool car with some Uras type over fenders on it. Very cool looking car, and he's a very good driver. This guy is from Tasmania, and don't think he's been to Ebisu since 2019, and that car has been sat in a storage field at Ebisu with wind and rain and snow and dust and dirt for the last 6 years. He's dragged it out of a field, and he wanted to wash it and bleach it to get it clean, and all the Tassie guys said no, just leave it as it is. So he's left it green and brown and black. But it's pretty much only like that on one side. The other side is actually relatively clean. But it does look disgusting, but cool at the same time with that patina.
Next driver, car 61, Greg
Greg in the purple PS, or yeah, Sylvia. That was okay, not his best run.
Right, all Group C drivers, last call. Any remaining Group C drivers, please head out as soon as possible. Next driver, car number 60, Otis Grace.
This guy was good yesterday. Solid. Oh shit. That's a shame. I think he misshifted a downshift from third to second. That's a shame because that guy was solid yesterday, putting in some great runs in practice. Something sounds a bit peaky.
Next driver, car 59,
Luca. Sounds like one of the Italian dudes. I don't know whether he was in second going over the top or whether it's geared different. It was in like limit bashing a bit in third, but sounded like he was in second. Here comes Hayden's second run. Was it second run? I think it must be. Come on, Hayden. Sounded like they might have been all in second gear. I don't know. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of RPM for third. I'm not sure if you can tell, but that is quite a bit of a downhill section there.
driver, car 52, Bowen Pike.
Where I can see bracket. So if you want about like the entry list, if that's not a joke about my surname Blackett, you can see the entry list on my Ian Blackett Facebook account. It says Ian Blackett and it's got brackets BP Santa Pod. And I've got the entry list on there and a bit of a description about G1GP, and you can see there's 80 drivers in this competition. There's like 5 groups, A, B, C, D, E, and they're putting a group down at a time. You can see each of the groups, each of the drivers' names, what car they're driving and where they're from, and their race number, and it'll give you a bit more of an idea of what you're watching. Sebastian Lemoyne from Canada. Shit, that guy is on it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a judge, but I do have an idea of the judging criteria, and that looked like an amazing run, so I think that's going to qualify him pretty high in the competition. Hello, Roberto. Hello, Greenleaf Club Japan. Welcome to the live video. Excuse my shaky camera work. Please excuse it. I don't have one of them fancy DJI Osmo jobbies. I'm just doing it handheld, which is probably making you feel sick. But here's the cars going out for the next group qualified. Maybe Group D. We've got car number 41, 38, 37. Number 38 is Darren from Ireland. His first time in Japan. Really good driver. He's been out on North, I think, and Nishi previously. It's a bit of a downshift there. There's that absolutely, let's go with sick S15 grey one coming up now with the wing on it and the roof rack thing. You can just see it there, second from the back. Looking forward to seeing how he does. I don't know if he was setting the world light in practice, but let's see how he does in qualifying. That's got some body kit on it. Looks amazing.
Alright, that's Group C run and done. These for their qualifying run. That's Group C.
So there's Jaden. So, whoop! It's the Tassie dude. The Finnish guy in the red car there. It's Greg. Woo! It's the Ortec R33. Hayden Cruikshank. Check this S15 out. That is so sick. Dori Minardi Polish dudes. Team Kaizen. Yep. Awesome. I'm kind of panda. Hello, mate. I will do. Fantastic. Talking of the weekend, after we did the livery of Jordan's JZX 100 Mark II with the Drift Team Funabashi on the side, because I'm friends with Shinji Minoa on Facebook and Instagram. One of Shinji's friends, who's a FDJ2 driver, has said he wants to drift with Jordan at the weekend at Drift Matsuri. How cool is that when you're getting Formula Drift Japan drivers asking if they can do some skids with you? When you've just come from the UK, you're kind of a pretty humble guy, just enjoying yourself, and you get an invite for some twinning with someone. That's fantastic. Yeah, you can check out the photos of Jordan's livery. We did a little photo shoot down on Higashi on my Ian Blackett Facebook page, and they came out pretty sweet. You can see the little comment from this guy about wanting to skid with Jordan, which is really cool. And I'm so chuffed with how the car looks, because there's so many white JZX 100s and chasers and stuff. They all kind of blend into one. So we've made it a little bit more individual by putting the vinyl down the side. So you can pick it out from a sea of white JZXs, so it doesn't just blend in with all of them. And I cut the vinyl myself on my own plotter back home rolled it all up, brought it over, and actually put it on the car in the pits down at Minami. And considering it's some cheap vinyl, it went on pretty well. But I'm not expecting it to last more than a couple of years. We'll see how it goes. Probably have people attempting to remove the letters with their front tyres in the chase, which would be quite funny. That look a pretty solid run. I'll look out for Igor. We just hit the heady heights of 20 viewers on the live stream. If when you come off the live stream, if you don't mind giving it a share to your friends, if they're interested in drifting, that would be much appreciated on my part. I've got about 640 subscribers on my YouTube channel. It's pretty small, but I'd like to get up to 1,000 subscribers. And I'm prepared to do some sort of forfeit if I get to 1,000 subscribers, if it helps get me there. I'll put that on my Facebook, and if anyone's got any ideas of what they want me to do if I hit 1,000 subscribers, that would be fun. And hopefully I'll get there and just get the channel out there a bit more, which would be really cool. And I've got some drag racing content on there. I've had the channel for 15 years, and it'd be good to get some more content, the drag racing as well, on there. If you didn't know, I'm Ian from Blackett Photography, and I'm Santa Pod's resident Ron Whitty-Brung photographer, which I've been for the last 20 years, and I've also been covering Drift Whitty-Brung events there since 2007, so like 18 years. And we have a lot of fun there. Actually had a Drift Whitty-Brung while I've been away on Wednesday, and my wife Paula and my good friend Jonathan Davis covered the event on my behalf in my absence, and had some fantastic customers and lots of support. We get a lot of support at that event from the UK drifting community, and we try to do the best service we can and give great value for money, and try and make the prices not too high to make them affordable. People who come to a drift day have spent a lot of money on getting there, and lots of money on tyres and fuel, and we try to make it affordable for what we do. And we really enjoy the drifting. As you can tell, it's my passion as well, and that's why I'm out in Japan. And this is my This is my 9th trip since 2014, my 9th visit to Japan, and I try to get sort of encourage as many people and inspire people to come out here, and I try and show them on my Facebook what I'm up to inspire them to come out here themselves. And I'm seeing more and more people come and check it out, and most of them, when they get here, they don't want to leave. My favourite quote is my friend Steve Dolan, who came out, who'd been wanting to come out for several years, and he finally came out with me, I'm going to say 2019, and I don't know how many times he said, I can't believe I'm in actual Japan, and he had the best time ever, and we went around loads of shops in Tokyo, and we came to Ebisu. He had a ride with Shinji Minowa in his practice car, on Nishi Long, like over 100 miles an hour entry. Oh, that's not a good line. That's not the line they're aiming for, but hopefully he can improve with his next one. So if you weren't on the live stream earlier, we've got Kumakubo over here, and the other judge, which might be Kanta, I'm not 100% sure, Noriaro or Alexi Smith from Noriaro YouTube channel is behind them doing the commentary, calling out the drivers' names. Here we go. So yeah, we've got Kumakubo judging with the other driver. They're judging the qualifying at the moment, and then when we've got qualifying done, we're going to get a top 32. There's actually 80 drivers from around the world competing in this competition. There's a very high standard of drivers, and so it's going to be a hard-fought battle just to get in the top 32. I think he had a bit of a straighten there behind the smoke. That is such a cool car though. Diego Higa, another Brazilian guy, professional driver in Nissan Silvia. Awesome.
Next driver, car 34, Milos Scatula.
We like Nissans. I had a Sil 80. So I had a Sil 80 from 2016, 2017, 2018. Before that, I had an R32 four-door here at Ebisu. And I've drifted all the tracks, and I've linked the front section of Togay in my Sil 80. I never did the back section. You've got to go a bit faster, and there's so much jeopardy in dropping a wheel or ending up over the bank or up the wall, up the mud bank. So I didn't push myself that hard. Drifted Higashi. I've linked quite a bit of Higashi, but I did third gear entries on the straight, not fourth gear. Again, there's just a bit more jeopardy in running fourth faster. And I've done Minami over the top, run the wall, done Link School, done some skids at Kurukuru Land, and just basically done everything I could. But after 4 years of owning the car out here, I felt that I had a lot of money sunk into it, and it was costing me money to come and run the car, and I felt I was being a bit selfish because there's me and my wife, and I decided if I pushed myself any harder on the faster and harder bits, I was going to end up crashing and writing the car off or something. So I decided to call it a day and sell it. So I bought my car in 2016. It was a Sil 80. It had an impact on the driver's rear quarter, but other than that, it was mechanically good and bodily good. It looked absolutely amazing from the front. It's just don't look at the back rear, the back driver's quarter. And I bought that from Power Vehicles in 2016 for £2,800. Red top SR20 manual with a tubular manifold. I fitted a boost controller, but £2,800 was a very good price. And then drifted it for 3 years. Drifted it for 3 years. I managed to sell it in 2018 to a guy from New Zealand on the Gaijin drift page on Facebook for the same money I paid for it. But I drifted it for 3 years. I had put some money into it to fix it up here and there and repair things, put a new fuel tank in it because it had rust in the fuel tank. I sold it for the same money that I paid for it, and actually took the headlights home, brick projector headlights, not the brick ones, but I took the headlights home, sold them for about 350 quid, and indicators and side lights and stuff, just because I knew I was going to smash them if I kept them in the car. So I made a little bit of money back there. I sold it for the same money I paid for it, which was fantastic. But now, I was here in 2025. The guy who owns that car now actually paid over £6,000 for it. But since then, it's actually had a full cage fitted to it and a fixed back bucket seat in the passenger side, I believe. So he spent some money on it. The point I'm making is drift cars are not getting any cheaper in Japan, so if you are thinking about pulling the trigger and getting a car in Japan, the sooner you do it the better. Something like looking out on the Gaijin pages or on pages on Facebook that people have cars for sale is a good idea. You can go through Power Vehicles, you can probably get a car through Sidex, you can get a car through Suzuki Arios. He'll sell you a car all fully prepped and deliver it to the track. He'll even supply you a car with Shakan, which is like the MOT for over in Japan, number plates, so you can drive it on the road over here. Oh, it's a misshift. I've got no details on what he charges, but you can definitely fire Mr. Suzuki Arios, is the guy with the Drift McLaren and Drift Ferrari 360. He was at Adam's LZ Fest at Castle Combe a month ago or so, and super sound guy. And his shop near here, I think it's in Koriyama, or outskirts of Koriyama, is amazing. We went there to visit. He wasn't there in person. And he was out, but his mechanics gave us a sort of tour, let us look around the whole shop. He basically buys and sells high-end cars. So the showroom was full of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, RWB Porsches. His Drift McLaren was sat there. They let us sit in it, have photos and stuff. They got stickers and stuff for sale, loads of cars side, like really cool cars. And he just let us have the run of the whole for a while. I think they even have some electric drift trikes or something that you can, or maybe crazy carts that you can buzz around on. It's Darren from Ireland. First time at Ebisu, doing really, really well. He's had to put a new clutch in the car since he's been here, but that's probably a good idea anyways, so he's got a decent twin plate clutch in it. Yeah, so you can go to some of these shops around Japan, around Tokyo, up in this area, and you can just rock up and ask if it's okay to have a look around, and most of the time they're pretty agreeable, and they're very, very friendly, and they'll let you have a poke around stuff they've got. And to pay them back, my advice is always, if they've got some stickers or some t-shirts or some other merch available, always try and buy something to sort of show some appreciation and post about it on your social media and try and give a little back to the guys who are taking a little bit of time to make your trip better, and you can support them. So if you've only just joined the live stream, we are here at the G1 Grand Prix competition day at Nishi Short Long. So Nishi Short Long, Nishi course is used for Formula Drift Japan. There's a long course, and then there's a short course, and then there's a short long course and a short course. It's a bit confusing, I know. But the long course, they come down this straight here and fling it here, round the corner, down and round there. Spinner. this is the short course, so you come the opposite direction, normally come over the hill, round here, and you cut down through here to the left of this grass. That's called the short course, and then round to the corner. We're using the short long course today for this competition. Come over the hill, on lock, down here, snappy transition here, drift all the way round. There's a clipping point on the outside of the track there, and you swoop down, there's an inner clipping point there, and then the finish line over there. Judges are over here. Kumakubo, who's designed the track. Noriaro is on the other side of him, commentating. You can just see him with the cap on. And we're watching second or third group of qualifying. I'll do what I can showing some of the other tracks. I'm going to try and get some live stream. If you subscribe, then when I put another live video out, you can watch it back. I'll try and get up on North Course over the course of the weekend, because it gets hectic on North Course. And that goes into the dark as well, so they're drifting in the pitch black. They've got some floodlights, but it's nowhere near enough. We might have an issue because there's a people carrier on track. Maybe they're checking for oil or debris or something. So I'll try and get around some other courses, maybe go live from in-car with some of the drivers. So we're changing groups now. So here come the group that just been out. Here's Darren from Ireland, super sound guy. Woo-wee! A Misfit, so Australian guy, Team Kaizen. Woo-wee! Dori Minardi from Poland, one of the Polish guys. Not sure who this guy is. Looks Japanese or Singaporean maybe. One of Fausto's, Brazilian type. Nice car there. Another nice car there. And that's one of the Tassie guys, I think. What's his name? In the blue 13. Sound guy. Yeah, that wasn't Fausto himself driving there, but it was one of his crew. Fausto was in an earlier group. I say earlier, he was in practice. Let me think if he's done qualifying. Yeah, I think he's done qualifying. So Fausto is out there in and amongst it, and he looked like he put in some solid runs. Well, we've got to the heady heights of 26 people viewing. Thank you for watching. So I was saying about what we're doing today, G1. So the G1 means Gaijin #1 Grand Prix, G1GP. And it's a competition that's been running for a number of years. There's 3 competitions a year. The day before the spring, summer and autumn Matsuris. The dude is putting the boxes back down so people can see where they've got to be clipping point wise. So there's 3 Matsuris a year, and on the Friday before each Matsuri they have a G1GP competition. It's only you're only eligible to drive in it if you're a foreigner. You might be from abroad but living in Japan, that's cool, but there's no sort of Japanese nationals competing in it. There's plenty of other competitions they can compete in, but not on this one. And they have a practice day the day before, so everyone can spend the whole day learning the layout. So this track was open for practice, so people could get their eye on this Nishi short long layout, yeah. And if you're here on just doing Matsuri, but you're not actually competing in the G1, you can actually practice on this track as well. There's no restrictions on who comes here. There's not even any marshals at the marshalling point over there when they're doing the practice day, but there is today with a flag, so if someone's spinning at the bottom during the practice earlier, they could wave the flag. Just keep an eye on things. So they have the competition here 3 times a year. Competition encourages entries. James Cruz, who is one of the guys here who's got a shop, he organises the G1. He's from Ireland. He's been a power vehicles mechanic for years, and now he's got his own business, Race Services something. I can't remember the name, but Race Preparation Services, I think it might be Race Preparation Services, and he organises G1GP, and they put out the word on Facebook looking for entries. People pay to enter, sign up, and then come down, do practice the day before if they want. They can do practice this morning only if they fancy. Then they go into qualifying. So these guys just warming their tyres up before their qualifying run. We've got Rokas Peterson. He's a very experienced drifter. Jordan Harvey. My mate Jordan Harvey from the UK in the drift team Funabashi JZX 100 Mark II. He's competed in G1 before, and he did qualify and battled. Can't remember who he battled against, but he didn't go through as far as I can remember. And then, so we've got some good drivers here. So once they've got the qualifying order sorted out, the 80 drivers will be chopped down to 32, to a top 32, and then they'll go head to head for top 32, then top 16, top 8, and then we'll have the final 4 and the final, and then they'll crown the, I think it's 1 to 5 get trophies and prizes, and then we'll have a rock paper scissors competition with Noriaro, Alexei Smith from Noriaro YouTube channel, who's doing the commentary today, and then there's a barbecue, and then we often head out to a local bar, carry on the celebrations.
Next driver, car third, Matsuri.
So if you want to see the entry list, you can see it on James Cruz's Facebook. I've actually got it posted on my Facebook, Ian Blackett. Like a half spin at the end there. I've got it posted on my Ian Blackett. Are you in Japan? I think I am. I am definitely in Japan. This is Ebisu circuit in Fukushima Prefecture in Japan, and we're on Nishi short long course for the G1GP drifting competition, the Gaijin Grand Prix drifting competition. And we've got 80 drivers from around the world competing, trying to get in the top 32, and this is qualifying. That was Nathan Warren from Tasmania in the S14 Jade, Millennium Jade S14. It's looking a little bit battered because he's had so much seat time over the last couple of trips. And that was a solid run, apart from he overshot the last clipping point in a clipping point. And we've got top 32 viewers on the live stream now. We've got 32 people watching. Thank you for watching. Please give my channel a subscribe and a share. I'm on about 640 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, if possible. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do some sort of forfeit where I don't know. I'm looking for suggestions on a forfeit on my Facebook page, and whatever people come up with, or choose something to do and video it and put it on my Facebook to celebrate getting to 1,000 subscribers. But I'm hoping. I've had a YouTube channel for 15 years. It's had 500,000 views, but I just haven't got that many subscribers. So it'd be cool to get to 1,000. Here he comes. Oh, I thought that was Jordan for a sec. It's not. Well, that's a decent run. That was a very nice run. So I mentioned it earlier, we've got Kumakubo from Ebisu circuit. Team Orange, Mr. Team Orange, he owns the track, he's judging, and Alexei Smith from Noriaro YouTube channel is in the black cap there, he's commentating throughout the day, keeping everyone up to date. It's Alexei, it is. He's an absolute legend. And if you've seen Alexei on his YouTube channel, when you meet him, he's exactly the same as he is on his YouTube channel. Just as upbeat, just as friendly, just as talkative, and he's an absolute super sound guy. So if you ever see him, go and say hi. That's all I can say. A couple of years ago, he had the beer can R32 down on Higashi. Rox Peterson just put in a solid run. We've got Anthony Bullock coming out for the next session. Yeah, and we were chatting with Alexei down on Higashi, and he let me sit in the beer can car. So I've got a photograph of me sitting in the car and him sitting next to me, which was very cool.
Car 23, Jordan Harvey.
Jordan Geezer, Jordan Harvey is qualifying run number 1. Woo-wee! Yes. Oh, he's a bit shy of that outer clip. He's a bit shy. Me too with the beer can. So Diego Higa is competing in this competition, but Chelsea's a no for isn't. He usually does, but maybe he's just concentrating on North course today with the E36 with like Samit and Grant Anderson. That was Austin Bisha from the UK in his Crown. Looks like he just got a little bit of understeer from the last inner clip point to the finish line. A little bit of understeer.
Next driver, car 19, John Gibbons.
So the guys queuing up for the next session of qualifying. Yes, it's qualifying now. The preview picture says practice, but it ended up, instead of stopping the video and starting a new video for qualifying, I just let it roll in.
Next driver, car 18, Matt Creed.
So it looks like he got a little bit wide on the first inner clip and then a little bit wide on the other inner clip. So I think he likes the wide line, that dude. He was very spectacular yesterday in practice,
Next driver, car
running super fast.
Jack Atkins.
So it looks like we've got Jono and Jimmy Oakes. So Matt Atkins in that car, in the what we'd call a PS, but Sylvia, he shipped that car from Australia. From Tassie, sorry. Let me get it right. He shipped the car from Tassie to drive it here. How crazy is that? And he's amazing. Yeah. And he's like, he looks about 12.
Yeah, he does.
How old is he? 25. He looks 12. He's got a super slick haircut. What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan. And what's your channel or your media?
That's R and then Chinny afterwards.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah, or KDT.
KDT. Oh, I've seen KDT over the cars, yeah. Awesome. What does the KDT stand for? Can you say it on the internet?
I can. I'm just going Cat Drift Team.
Right, okay, yeah. Oh, I've seen the cat on the logo, yeah. Those hoodies are nice, and the design. Yeah, there's some really nice, good colour. Yeah, good colour.
Usually we embroider and stuff like that. So.
Awesome.
Next car, next driver, car number 29, Nathan Warren.
I know he's from Tasmania.
Toby in the JZX100 is also just flew in yesterday.
Yeah?
So he's from, Tassie.
Awesome.
Second in our series.
Awesome. Second in your series, yeah? Awesome. Good driver then. So he just skipped yesterday's practice.
He only did yesterday.
Oh, did he actually practice?
First laps of the car on G1GP.
So he didn't drive yesterday? Shit.
Doing alright.
Yeah, good.
He's like 8th lap out, he's doing alright. So.
Awesome. Well done to him.
Next driver, car 26, Brian O'Keefe.
Brian O'Keefe from Ireland, the pilot. I'm just trying to think. Just trying to think what airline he works for, whether it's... Oh, I can't remember, but he's a pilot. If you follow him on Instagram, he takes some amazing photos when he's coming into land in foreign airports and stuff, and the sun's just coming up and the rain and the rainbows and the snow, all sorts of shit. He takes some amazing photos. Yeah, there's a few Irish drivers, quite a few. If you are on Facebook, if you look on my Ian Blackett Facebook page, I put a gallery up of what I'm up to each day, but also yesterday I put a post about G1GP explaining what it was and gave the entry list and the timetable so you can keep up to date with what time things are happening and who's in what car. So Rokas, that's Rokas Peterson. He's a very good driver. The judges want a snappy transition, so these guys are really trying to chuck it, and ultimately if you haven't got quite as much warmth, heat in your tyres, it can lead to you spinning, which is what happened there. But he did put a particularly solid first run in, so I don't think he's going to have any problems. I think there's a good chance he will qualify. Here's Jordan Geezer's second run. That's not his best run. His first one was pretty solid. We'll see. Well, that one, he got a bit more air. He did a Daigo Saito off that section there. got his wheels off. But at least the car's in one piece.
Next driver, car 22, Austin Weischer.
Here comes Austin in the Toyota Crown. Very good driver. That's his best run, no understeer through the finish. Brilliant. I've got 40 people for a moment there watching the live view. When you come off the live view, no starting light to take out. Tiger sight cannot be summoned. When you come off the live stream, please give it a share on your social medias. With anyone you think might be interested in watching some proper drifting from Japan, from actual Japan. We'll try and get the views up on this video, which is going to be insanely long. Hopefully my phone allows me to save it to YouTube. Matt Krieg. No! Styled it out. So Matt Krieg, when I was here last year, I was having a ride with Austin in the Toyota Crown around here, and Matt was chasing us, and we came around the final corner over here. Where's my finger? Came around the final corner, and Matt threw his S14 completely on Austin's door, and he was tapping my passenger door with his hand while he was twinning with us. It was insane. Here comes Matt. Shipped that car from Tasmania to Japan to do Ebisu with it. And then I don't know whether he'll keep it here or whether he ships it back or what he does, but he shipped that freaking car from Tasmania to Japan. And there's some Irish lads here who shipped a 1UZ from Ireland to engine swap a car here in Japan. And they prepared a full engine swap, all the parts they needed, put them on a pallet, shipped them here, and spent a day or so fitting them to the car. It's a slightly shonky looking red, pinky red IS200. That's the sort of lengths that these guys go to get a car ready to use here at Ebisu. Whoa! I think Brian's Instagram, whoa! It's called Flybok. Flybok. Like Springbok, but Flybok. If you want to check it out, as I say, he's got some really cool stuff, photos and videos on there. '45 viewers, wow, thanks guys. This is Nick Levis from Tasmania. That is very cool about the Brazilian fans. So this is Nishi. Yes, Nishi means west in Japanese. So this is west course. So we've got Nishi Long, which is the FD Japan layout, where they come screaming down here, round this corner, round there, and then down, swoop round the bottom, then this is the Nishi short course. There's two versions, Nishi short, where you come over the hill, down, round the corner, cut through the grass there, and then swoop round the last corner. And this is the Nishi short long, which they use for G1. They come over, round the corner, quick flick here, extend wide, and then there's a clipping point here. The track goes down there, and you swoop round the corner. So it's going to get interesting later when we get cars close on that section. So Dean Clapworthy. It sounds perky. That was a solid one. Yeah, I mean, there's a sort of jump thing you can take off here. It's not really a jump there. That's just a rise of a hill, and you come screaming down. There's a lot of altitude sort of variation coming down a hill there, and then from the top of the course to the bottom of the course, there's quite a drop. You can see. I'm going to try and keep the camera level. You see what I mean? So it's an exciting track. You get a bit of compression in your suspension here. 47 viewers on the live stream. Whoa, that's a peak. So fun fact, I crashed here on the G1GP practice day, and I think 2017, and I hit the bank here, put my car on its side, and Adam LZ got me on his head cam, and put me in his YouTube video, and Chelsea Denofa got me on his video, put me in his YouTube video, and in the title, Dude Flips Car. I'm internet famous for fucking up. Anthony Billick from Australia. LZ's not here, no. He didn't come last year from memory either, so he must be doing something else, because he does normally come out and enjoy himself a lot here. Luke Fink was out here the last 2 years. Last year he was in his Ford Falcon, and the year before he was in his Nissan Laurel or L'Oreal, and it would have been great to have seen him out. Honestly, that's not to say that LZ couldn't be on North Course with like Chelsea Denofa, and maybe Luke Fink could be on North Course, but because I'm down here on Nishi, I haven't seen who's up there, so they could be here, but as far as I know, personally, I don't think they are. No, we've got Kumakubo, who owns Ebisu, is a judge, and I think it might be, it's another driver. I don't know if it's Kanta, and then Alexei from Noriaro is commentating.
Next driver, car 11, Neve Dillon.
So Neve, I believe still works for Sidex, female driver, and you can see how good she is. See, she did a clutch kick to get a snappy transition here, and that's what the judges want to see, and I think that was a pretty good run. That lots of pace on the clipping points, doing really well. Any more questions? Fire them. So he competes this time with the 30. Do you mean car number 36? Oh, you mean Chelsea with a E36? So Chelsea is here with the 1JZ E36 Touring. So that car was owned by a guy called Martin Friedrich from Germany. So just a quick one, that guy there in the white R33, he came here last year with his father, and his father rolled an R33 on North Course. I'm not sure it's the same car because the roof looks amazing on that, but maybe they've reshelled it. Nick Levis from Tasmania is coming up now. He's a former winner from last year or the year before in G1. Oh, they fixed it. Amazing. Yeah, so Martin Friedrich drove the E36 with his friend from Germany to Japan. They drove all through Europe, got to Russia, drove all the way across Russia, got to Vladivostok, put it on a ferry and ferried it from Vladivostok in Russia to Japan, drove it through Japan to Ebisu, and then they drifted it. But they had loads of clutch problems and all sorts of issues with it. Hardly did any skids. When I turned up that year, I had a car. So this is 13-year-old James Flynn from Australia. It's a turbo GT86. He has been competing in EDS, Ebisu Drift Series, since he was 10 years old, and now he's doing G1GP. I'm not sure if he's done G1GP before, but he's only 13, little young, tiny little lad, and he's competing with all these other international drifters, which is amazing.
Next driver, car number 6, Alan Kelly.
So just to continue, Martin drove the car here. He had a bit of a falling out with his friend because they went through a lot of stress to get here. His friend flew home early, left Martin here on his own with the car, and he had a gearbox in the back of it, loads of parts. It was full of parts. And when I got to Ebisu, it was on North Course with parts strewn all around the car. It was broken and he was pretty upset. So I gave him some rides in my CL80 to cheer him up, and that was very cool. He was the nicest guy, and he let people draw on the car. I drew the hot rod flames down the left-hand wing. Let's call it driver's side wing and left-hand drive car. I drew the hot rod flames on it, and when Chelsea bought the car, the picture he put up as his YouTube profile picture showed the hot rod flames that I'd drawn on the side of the car. So that was really cool. Is it too dangerous, as in drifting this track? It's not if you've got experience. I mean, everything's dangerous, just crossing the road. But if you know what you're doing, you can safely drift this track. But it does become a bit of a risk when you're competing because you're in close proximity to the other car. There are some hazards around the track. There is the possibility to crash into this bank here and damage your car, and there's a possibility of crashing into the other car and damaging their car. But generally, drifting is pretty safe. You have to have a full roll cage to compete in this competition. You have to have a fixed back bucket seat and harnesses with a harness bar, not just fixed to the ground. So this is Jono from Power Vehicles. Jono from Power Vehicles has been a mechanic there for a very long time. He's in his pretty high-powered S15 there, and yeah, he should do well. He's got a good car underneath him. So YouTuber Jimmy Oakes is up now. I've had a ride with him on North Course. That's going to be a good qualifying run. He knows what he's doing around here. You had a run with him on North Course. We were leading and chasing Rokas Peterson, and I was doing loads of videos, and in one video we hit Rockass because Rockass misshifted, and then in the other video Rockass hit us. So I got 2 crash videos in just a short space of time. And Jimmy is just as nice as he appears on YouTube when you meet him. Super sound guy. And I spoke to him earlier about doing a little video with me to promote Norfolk Arena, and hopefully we'll hook up and do a little video just for fun, to get the word out there about Norfolk Arena and Norfolk Arena Drift Team practice days in the UK.
Group car number 16, next driver out, Jimmy Clatworthy.
I've got a few foreign comments, and so that's Jimmy Clatworthy. He's a mechanic at Power Vehicles, absolutely super sound guy, Canadian, and yeah, always got a smile on his face. Absolute legend of a guy. So how busy is Ebisu? So when I first started coming with Hayden Cruikshank in 2014, we'd come not during the Matsuri period. So you just come during a normal week, you turn up and you might find, I'll just quickly answer, the judges are Kumakubo and I think Kanta. So Kumakubo owns Ebisu. Kumakubo owns Ebisu, and he's founded Team Orange with Suinaga and yeah. So and Alexei Smith from Noriaro YouTube channel, he's commentating. But Ebisu is not very busy when there's no Matsuri. It's very, very quiet. So then it ramps up probably from the weekend before the Matsuri. It starts ramping up with people arriving from all over the world. So if you want to come here and get the full experience, here's Anthony Billick from Australia. If you want to come and get the full experience and you want to do a deep dive into Ebisu because you love drifting, come at least on the Sunday before the Matsuri weekend, the following weekend. So you've got a whole week, and then maybe stay for a day or two after the Matsuri, and it gets busier and busier and busier. And it's going to be ridiculous here Saturday and Sunday. Hard to get in. Jimmy is going to do well. Don't worry, Jimmy's going to do well. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, it gets ridiculously busy, and you have to give you an idea how busy it gets. On North Course, it's like it's the busiest car park you've ever been to. You can barely. It's like playing Jenga or something, you know, like with the blocks, or it's just ridiculous. There's a queue to get up there. Sometimes you can wait for 45 minutes to get up the hill and through the tunnel into the track. So it's ridiculous. That's in a drift car. They don't even let rental cars up to North Course during Matsuri because it's too busy. So it's one of those. Chelsea's an 0 for FD win, but he's not in this competition. So yeah, but Jimmy wants to have fun with his drift car. He doesn't want to compete and have all that stress. So from someone who doesn't enjoy drifting competitions, who's tried them, I can see where he's coming from. It's too much stress. They're both amazing. I'm trying to think. I haven't had a ride with Chelsea, but I've had rides with Jimmy and Samit and Adam LZ, and they're all amazing. Take it from me. The Team guys, I was talking about one earlier with the S14, and I was out with Austin in his Toyota Crown, and one of the Team guys in his 14 came up, put his car on the door, and he tapped my door with his hand while he was drifting, and I was in the passenger seat. Hello, Hedo. So with the Ikaten, I don't know whether you can get a late entry or whether they've got all their whether they've got all the entries. But I'm definitely going to be here doing some live stream of it, and I'm going to be trying to get in the background for fanboy status of being in the background of an option video. So I'm going to be here, but if we can possibly make a team up and they will let us enter. Maybe we might be able to make a Team GB out of Jordan and Julian Smith from Garage D, who's here, Matt Carter, or current I don't know, Jap Speed driver, BDC champion, those three guys, and anyone else, maybe Hayden Cruikshank, anyone else we can find. Maybe we can make a Team GB up and get us involved in the Ikaten competition, which would be amazing. So this is the Australian dude, very, very good drifter. So that car was on its roof on North Course, and they fixed it up, and it looks amazing. His dad went a little bit wide in the dark and then put it on its roof. It's one of those things, shit happens. I've put my car on its side before, down there. As long as you get it fixed, put my car on its side, where's my finger? There, and manage to get it fixed back out on track. If you make a mistake, you get back on the horse sort of thing, get back out there. So that was Nick Levis from Tasmania, former winner of G1GP. He knows what he's doing. He should be qualifying pretty high and hopefully do well in the competition, but we'll see. Well, I've got 54 viewers. Thank you for watching. If you can share it with any of your drift enthusiast friends, when you come off the live stream, maybe share it. And I should be able to save this on YouTube so it can be watched back at a future time. So that's 13-year-old James Flynn, Kevin Flynn, 80 drivers on the list. Hello, Milky. You can check out the drivers list on my Facebook, Ian Blackett, and also do a gallery and write up a report of what we've been up to while we're here for every day I'm in Japan. So GT86, yeah, stock engine as far as I know, but it's turboed. Very lightweight driver, as you say, aged just 13, and James has been competing at Ebisu since he was 10 in the EDS Ebisu Drift Series. And I think when he started, he was in the category where you just do solo runs, so he wasn't doing battles. But now he's full on getting seat time with the big boys. Been practicing out there, doing some twinning with his dad quite a bit, Kevin Flynn. Oh, fantastic! Really, yeah, very cool. It's doing the solo runs. It's a nice introduction, getting your eye in, seat time, getting judged. So you've got a little bit of pressure, but you haven't got the pressure of crashing into someone else's car, damaging your car. So it's something that I probably would have enjoyed doing if I still had a car, just to do the single solo run sort of part of the EDS. What? You show off? That looks solid. So Jono in the S15. Sounds rowdy. Sounds rowdy. "57 viewers. Thank you for watching."
Car number 2, Jimmy Oaks.
Awesome. Yeah, you can get a stupid amount of seat time. My friend Pete Hayden, he rented a car from Sidex yesterday, used 5 pairs of tyres. He was just drifting all day, constantly out on North Course. He went down to Niche, he came down to here, did some runs in here, but he used 10 tyres, 10 brand new tyres. Jimmy's done really well on his qualifying, I believe. I'm not a judge, but it looked good. And he was on the line. So because they're qualifying now, there's 5 groups and we're on one of the last groups, I think. So they're just doing their first qualifying run, going to the back of the queue and then doing their... So that's it. Hello. Woo! There's Neem, sorry. Whoop! Whoop! That's young James. So there we go. Right, I'm gonna stop my video and go and have a chat with my mates in the pits back there, and I'm gonna wait for the... might do a little bit of footage, maybe just record it on my phone, of the driver top 32 announcement, and I'll perhaps post that on my Facebook later, maybe not put it on YouTube. So you can go and check out my Facebook if you fancy. Yeah, awesome. Will do. I'll say hi to him, and I'm hopefully going to do a little video with Alexi to promote the Norfolk Arena Drift Team. Just get the word out there about it. It's a great track in the UK, and it's a real grassroots track where a lot of the drivers started drifting, who've gone on to do BDC. For instance, Pete Hayden, and he's now out here in Japan, and been having a whale of a time on drifting on North Course. He's twinning with Australian drifters on North Course. And where did he start? He started drifting at Norfolk Arena when he was just 14 years old. So Norfolk is such an important track in the UK that and it's Malx and Minnie that run the event, do such an amazing job that I just want to really say my thanks to them for what they do for the whole of the drifting community. The fact that they don't treat it like a really serious, let's make loads of profit, let's make loads of money out of everyone. They're really inclusive, trying to get drifting out there and just let people have fun in a safe environment. And the seat time that you can get there is decent. When I was there a couple of weeks ago, the A lane was actually smaller than the B lane, and people were going round and round and getting so much seat time. And the quality of the seat time you can get, if you go there with a twinning buddy, you can just basically sit on each other's doors the whole time. I've got a video on my Blackett, I think it's on my Ian Blackett Facebook, of me having rides with Phil Hayden, chasing Pete Hayden in his new car that he just brought out, and they do an amazing job. So give the Norfolk Arena Drift Team Drift Team Facebook page a like, and if you're a UK drifter, don't forget it when you're thinking about organising drift days. Encourage your friends to go there if they're learning, or if they've got some young up and coming drivers who want to drive and they can't get signed on at Santa Pod because they're too young. Get them signed on. I'm not sure of the age, but I know Pete started at 14. I think you can drive even younger. Speak to Malks and Minnie and get involved with drifting. Get your youngsters involved in drifting, and maybe we can find the next sort of like UK's Hero Manoa. Look at Louis Edwards, how great he is coming from a young age, and he did a lot of drifting with L2D, but you can get, if you've got some young relative or your son or whatever, you want to get them into drifting, get them to Norfolk Arena to put in some solid runs in a safe environment in their car, and then you can move them on to other things when they get old enough to go to other circuits. But Norfolk Arena is a very, very good venue. Please don't forget it when you're thinking about doing some practice days, and support all the tracks while they're still here, because if we don't support them, they might not be here forever. So I'm going to end my video. Please check out my Facebook, Blackett Photography. Please check out my personal Facebook, Ian Blackett. I've got an update every day from Japan of sort of 30 plus photos and a whole report banging on about what I've been doing. And give my YouTube channel a like and subscribe if you want to. There's some videos from 15 years ago. I've had 500,000 views on my YouTube channel for over the last 15 years, but I just haven't got that many subscribers. So I've got about 640 subscribers at the moment. I want to get up to 1,000 subscribers, and if you could help me, that would be much appreciated. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like, and share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will start another video when we get into the top 32 battles, and we can follow everyone that you've been watching in qualifying and practice and see how they do. Don't forget, you can check out the entry list on my Ian Blackett Facebook page. I've listed the 80 drivers. It tells you their name, what car they're driving, what the race number is, and where they're from. So check all that. You're welcome, Reese, no problem. And have loads of fun. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.